3 years later, Apple's 6th generation iPod Touch is here, so let's stack it side by side against the previous generation, see what's new, and exactly how much faster it is. So what's up guys, Jonathan here with TLD, and on the left, we have the 5th generation iPod Touch, and on the right, the 6th generation. There's a handful of new colors for 2015, including the gold you see here, but design-wise, they're nearly identical. The screen size, the resolution, the dimensions, and weight are all exactly the same, but where the big change resides is actually under the hood. The 5th gen sports an aged A5 processor with half a gig of RAM, whereas the 6th gen has a 64-bit A8 chip with a full gig of RAM. Running Geekbench, you can see the night and day difference between the two, with the 6th generation iPod Touch dishing out nearly 7 times the single core power and 6 times the multi-core power. Now, what this means outside of just numbers is immensely smoother gaming, quicker app loading times, and overall just a much more responsive and fluid experience. Leo's Fortune is straight up eye candy in terms of gameplay, but it's not an overly demanding game, so I figured I'd start here. Here, the 6th generation plows through the load times and finishes up a decent amount ahead of time of the 5th generation, but where we see the real difference is when we jump into something intensive. 3D Mark Ice Storm is a benchmark as opposed to an actual game, but it does a fantastic job of showing off two things. Again, the 6th generation iPod Touch absolutely tears through the load times and gets right into the gameplay, whereas the 5th gen is like watching paint dry. Once it finally does load up though, here's where you can see the drastic difference in gameplay, with the 6th generation pumping out silky smooth footage and the 5th generation struggling, dropping frames, and is nothing but Chop City. The 2015 iPod Touch also features support for 802.11 AC Wi-Fi, which only really matters if you have the internet speeds and router to take advantage of. But even in my case, where I don't have mind-blowing internet speeds, I saw nearly a 30 megabit per second bump on the download speeds with the newer iPod Touch. The other major overhaul between the two is the camera. The newer iPod Touch jumps up from 5 to 8 megapixels, and after testing the two, it's definitely a noticeable and welcomed upgrade. It's by no means an amazing camera, but it's solid enough for most people who need to get a decent snap without the need to carry anything else with them. Video quality is also a nice bump on the newer iPod Touch, and what I think a lot of people will have fun with and appreciate is the 120 FPS slow motion video. Like I mentioned in my unboxing, it falls short of the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus's 240 FPS, but considering the 5th generation iPod Touch didn't have any slow motion at all, it's a pretty sweet addition. Other small differences include the omission of the loop, which I actually kind of liked. It essentially was a recessed button that once pressed popped out and allowed you to attach a loop to the bottom corner, which you could then throw around your wrist almost like a camera strap. Overall, it's a pretty significant upgrade, and more than anything shows how aged the 5th generation iPod Touch has become. I kind of wish Apple would have opted for a bigger screen and possibly Touch ID, but aside from that, there's not a whole lot to complain about. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hopefully this helped if you were looking forward to this comparison, and I may or may not be giving away 2 of these with my good buddy Austin Evans on Twitter. Our handles are down below. Follow us there for the details. Go Hulk Hogan on that like button if you want to win, and I will see you guys later.